Good evening, everyone. If I could have your attention, can you see me behind here? I know this is a big podium, so I just feel like I have to stand on my tiptoes. Thank you so much for coming. This is a very special evening at Grand Rapids Community College, and you are among an elite group. We have 84 students that receive this honor of the top 5%, and we have 43 of those students that will honor tonight. What an awesome day, wasn't it? The weather, the sunshine, what an incredible day. It reminds me of really of beginning, and kind of my theme in the program tonight is to look at some points in time for you and maybe some experiences you've had here at the college. And it is a time for beginning, and as a college right now, we're accepting applications for new students. Decisions are being made by students on what college to go to, and we're inviting students starting tomorrow for new students to come in for orientation. Remember back then when you were starting your time of beginning here at GRCC? The other feeling right now is a time for wrapping up, and that's a time when, as we move towards the end of the semester, you're certainly looking at maybe that last paper that you need to write, or perhaps that final exam that's on the schedule that you need to study for. We're also preparing for commencement and also have a number of ending and wrapping up special celebrations here at the college, and we're looking forward to that. So right now, I think a time of beginning, a time of wrapping up. Now the best part, it's going to be time for dinner soon. But before we do that, it is my distinct pleasure, I would like to introduce our chairperson of our Board of Trustees to provide a reflection for us, Ms. Margot Anderson, if you'd please come forward.
Good evening. Messed up right at the beginning here. Reflection. You are all top students, and everyone in this room tonight congratulates you. We know that you will become the future leaders our world needs. You will follow many different paths to realize your goals. Here are some of the things you should pack for your journey and pick up along the way. A clear vision of the future you wish to live. Decisiveness. All your decisions should be in alignment with your vision. These overriding objectives help you move in that direction. Unwavering courage, a hallmark of solid leaders. Self-control. There is always something to learn from experience, from others, from anger, and from failure. Willingness to assume full responsibility for your decisions, no matter what they are. A sense of justice and fairness toward others. Passion. Leaders are passionate people who live with great enthusiasm. Beliefs in yourself and in the universe's plans for your lives. Generosity of effort. Leaders have a habit of doing more than what they are paid for. Effort and sacrifice get you to a position of authority in the first place. Empathy, sympathy, and understanding. Always take others' feelings into consideration. Don't forget integrity. We always need another Princess Diana or another Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to stand up for what's right, no matter the consequences, to build bridges rather than barriers, to see the distant horizons rather than borders. Finally, be open to spirit. Amazing ways will be revealed. Through prayer and meditation for direction, in the stillness, you will feel a powerful yet silent urge at the depth of your being. Listen. and live the vision of what you are capable of being.
Thank you, Chairperson Anderson. We're going to go ahead and continue with dinner, and then when we get close to dessert, or just so you're kind of halfway through dessert, then we'll begin with our program. So enjoy. Well, hopefully everyone, if I could have your attention again, we're ready to begin tonight's program. Hopefully that you all enjoyed this evening's dinner. I need to tell you that you just experienced actually one of our culinary classes, because the dinner was prepared by one of our banquet classes in our culinary program. We make the decision intentionally to have this event here, so an opportunity for the class, an opportunity for you also to come and experience really the incredible culinary program we have here at the college. So we really appreciate their support in doing this dinner for us tonight. One of the things, there's always an opportunity for a first time. Remember, I'm using the theme of time and things this evening. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Karen Ender. If you would please stand, Mrs. Ender. I want to thank you for coming this evening. Mrs. Ender and Dr. Ender, this is their first event. Thank you for coming and being a part of this special occasion. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the president of Grand Rapids Community College, Dr. Stephen Ender.
Thank you and welcome. It's great to see such a packed house. This is my first Delta Phi Alpha recognition dinner and awards ceremony, and so I've had many firsts during this year. And I say this every time because every time I come in not knowing what to expect, and every time I feel a little overwhelmed. The number of people in this room tonight, our students and those that have supported them, it just, for me, it helps me realize, I think, and perhaps many of my colleagues, why we do what we do every day. So it's just a pleasure for me to be with you tonight. I want to recognize some people, if I can, as we move forward to the actual ceremony. We have 4 of our Board of Trustees with us tonight, and as I call their name, I'd like them to stand and be recognized. We have our Board Chair, Ms. Margot Anderson, who you met earlier. And Ms. Terry Hanlon, who is a founding board member. Terry's right back here. And Ms. Ellen James, who is also a founding board member, is right here. And Mr. Rick Verberg is with us tonight in the back. He helps me when I'm feeling overwhelmed by the other 3. And then 2 other groups I'd like to recognize if I could. I think what's wonderful about this ceremony is the students who will be honored. And in fact, we have 84 students who have risen to the academic heights of being in the top 5% of their class, and that's not easy going. Of the 84, we have 43 present. Our students were invited to invite significant others or a faculty or staff person at the institution who has had some meaning in this march towards excellence, if you will. None of us, when we're studying and working hard and a job and kids and spouses and rent and life that goes on for our students as they're also pursuing these degrees, cannot do it without the support of people that they care and love and who they know love and care for them. I know that. I've been there. So I'd like all those caring, loving people who have supported our students to stand up so we can recognize them tonight. Where are they? Thank you very much. And then we have a special group of faculty and staff members that are with us tonight that we know in our teaching roles and in our service roles at this institution that we impact students every day, and mostly in meaningful ways. And I was one of those students when I went to school who had a couple of faculty members that really, really were meaningful to me. And I told one and never the other until many years later, and I regretted not telling her in the moment, if you will, because she had impact on me that she never could have imagined. It carried through to my graduate programs and later into my career. And so we know that we have that ability, and it's also very sweet when we sometimes get a note and says, hey, I just want to thank you, you know. Well, tonight our students have asked or were invited to ask if that person exists for them on campus to share this evening with them. And I think our faculty and staff every day make a difference in students' lives through their work. We work at a community college because we want to teach, we want to serve, we want to know that we have helped take a person from where they are to where they want to be. So if you would, that group of faculty and staff who were invited to attend because they have had this meaningful impact, if you would stand and be recognized, please. Where are you? Students, you have no idea how nice it is for them. They might not say it overtly, but it is really special when you reach back as a student and say thank you. And we all probably need to do that a lot more in our lives. And so to our students, those that we will be honoring, we're going to award something for you tonight, and we want you to wear it with honor. But it also symbolizes for me a responsibility that we're placing on you. We're recognizing the top of our class. We're recognizing people who we know are the future leaders of this district, this state, this country, and in the world we live in. Who knows where you will have impact from a global perspective. And we ask that you take that responsibility and march forward to your next either baccalaureate program or world of work and realize that you are a person that others are going to look to. You will. You will be that person. They will recognize very quickly because of how you work academically that you have some skills and talents that maybe someone else might desire, another student perhaps, on the job, an employer who is going to ask you to do more, in a neighborhood, an association that's going to ask you to serve on the board. It's going to come in many different ways, and we expect that you won't shirk that responsibility, I guess is the bottom line, that you will wear this leadership kind of badge with honor and with integrity and pride, and that you will make a commitment and contribution so one day someone will tap you on the shoulder and say, would you mind coming along to a dinner with me tonight or wherever we're going to be recognized because you made a difference in my life. That's what we expect of you. So I want to congratulate you from the bottom of my heart. It's tough to do what you have done. You made sacrifices. You will make a difference, and we are so proud of you. We know you represent this college in ways that will make us proud of you in the future. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Rick Olson. I'm the Dean of Arts and Sciences here at the college, and this is Dean Fiona Hurt, Dean of the Workforce Development. We have the privilege tonight of announcing the new Delta Pi Alpha recipients. President Ender will confer the Delta Pi Alpha honor by presenting each new recipient with a gold medallion. Dean Hoxie will cue you as students when it's your time to come up. Keep an eye on her when she cues your table. If you take our seats over to the far right, and please remember to bring your name card with you when you come. Also, for all of our recipients, it's been a tradition here at the college to give you an opportunity to tell a little bit about your experience here at the college and to introduce those invited guests that you brought with you tonight to share in this academic honor. And Patrick will present you with a microphone for doing that. Nicole Snyder.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to all of you. This is such an honor to be here and share these accomplishments with you. And secondly, I'd most like to thank, along with my dear friend Audra, Holly Hoare. She has been such an influential individual. She has given us both scholarship, friendship, and most of all, encouragement as we make our journey to Grand Valley State University for nursing education. Thank you.
Audra Cugel. Bethany Westhoff.
I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Darberstein and Mrs. Schultz and all the rest of the dental hygiene staff, because it's very obvious that they all want all of us to succeed. And also Stacy and Irina, who are here from the dental hygiene program, and all our other friends in the program. We all worked really hard together, and it was fun.
Irina Kleczkowski.
I just learned English, and now I'm using every opportunity to use microphone. Good evening, everyone, and I feel like I'm on a red carpet. The only thing is missing is evening gown. And Mrs. Doberstein, who's here with me today, you were right about it. Only I got haircut, but not gown. Thank you for being here, and thanks for all your support. And Mrs. Schultz as well. Thank you for that gentle kick that I was asking for once in a while. I really need it, you know me. And I really want to thank my husband for supporting me in every way. Я тебе люблю, ти моя дорога людинка. I love you always. And that's about it. I am just, I'm just shaking just like those celebrities on a red carpet. You know, they like, if they don't have a little piece of paper to read from, they just don't know what to say. So,
Mayra Diaz.
I just want to thank my counselor, Anna Maria Clark, who has always supported me ever since I've been here at GRCC, and all my family members that are here with me as well. And I just want to say that I really enjoyed my time being here, and it's been great. So thank you.
Joanna Noble.
Well, today I brought with me my parents, the lady that I work with that kind of runs the tutoring office, and my best friend. And to me, they're my biggest support system. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to get to the point I am now. And I've heard it many times tonight, you can't do it by yourself, and that's very true. You can put a lot of effort into it. Without someone to encourage you, though, and to push you, it's very difficult. So this actually belongs to them.
Michelle Pittman.
I just mostly want to thank my mom. She's always been there for me, no matter what. And I also like to thank Jim Keating. Every time I questioned what I was doing, he was always there to tell me, yes, you can do this. Thank you.
Robert Brady.
I'd like to thank my wife, Angie. She corrected all my homework before I handed it in, and it worked out well for us. Thanks, honey.
Bonnie Dempsey.
I'd like to thank my amazing husband tonight, as well as my very supportive family, my mother, my father, and my brother, and the academy. Thank you.
Kevin Vokes. Ryan Rosema.
I would first like to thank God for making everything possible for me. Without Him, nothing's possible, and that's just been the key in my life. I also have two wonderful grandparents sitting way in the back there. They've been just by my side since day one. They haven't given up on me, and I won't give up on them. And I also have my mom back there too, and she's just been supporting my life too. And I'd like to also thank Mr. Elger back there. He's been an automotive instructor for me, and he just made it realize for me that I can keep on pursuing my dreams. I was going to stop with an associate's degree, but now I'm pursuing it to a bachelor. So, and maybe a master's after that, who knows. So, thank you.
Donald Ram.
I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank God and my wife, and to all the chefs that I've worked with, and to all the fellow GRC students that I got to serve through the library. So thank you for the library staff as well. Thank you very much.
Kurt Potgetter.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Dave Dye for being an incredible professional support that I needed while I was here, my wife for being the emotional support, and my parents for always being that moral support that I've always needed. And thanks GRCC for being a great stepping stone for me as I head to Ferris.
Dorian Sosa.
Oh, I just want to thank GRCC for all the help it has given me through all these years, and just thank my family, thank God, and thank my fiance Lester Ferreira for his help. Thank you.
Cindy Medina.
I got my associate degree in nursing, and I'd like to thank my family for all their love and support. Te quiero mucho.
Jean Gordon.
I'd like to thank my family who couldn't make it, and wonderful friends who have helped me through the nursing program, and especially Donna Adams, who encouraged us early on and made us believe we could do it.
Aaron Spruitt.
I'm Aaron Spruitt, and thank you very much. I'd like to thank my family and the amazing teachers that I've had here, and of course, my amazing girlfriend, Leslie Parks.
Hope Tennyson Sartain.
I would just like to thank Bill Faber. Thank you for coming with me.
Naya Tran.
Hello, my name is Nia Tran. First,
Thank
I
you.
want to say thank you to Miss Caroline, who helped me overcome my language barrier to come here. And I want to say thank you to my brother and sister being here with me. And last, I want to say thank to my instructor, Mr. Richard Foster. He inspired me a lot. After I graduate in August, and I will pursue my education, get my bachelor degree, and eventually master. Hopefully come back here to teach someday. Thank you.
Kimberly Hinesley.
I would just like to thank my parents, my mom and dad, for all their love and support and for driving me to school every day since I still don't have a car.
Victoria Verberg.
I would like to thank my husband for supporting me for the last 20 years of our life. He's been a huge rock for me. And I brought my English teacher, Mrs. Lee, and her husband, Mr. Lee. Mrs. Lee believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And also my best friend, Jeannie. She's in the nursing program with me, and it seems like when I'm up, she's down. When she's down, I'm up. We kind of are on different paths on the roller coaster, which is great because we keep saying between the two of us, we're going to make one great nurse. And also Donna Adams, who is one of our instructors. She's been awesome and a great motivator. Thank you.
Joseph Lambert.
I'd just like to thank my wife and my mother-in-law and my daughter for sticking with me and supporting me while I went to school. And I'd like to thank all the chefs at the culinary program. Their passion really rubs off on you, and it's been a great experience. Thank you.
Melanie Thorwall.
First, I'd like to thank my husband, who was a great support for me. But coming back to school as an older learner is very intimidating. And at one point, I was going to school with two of my children here. They didn't want to come in the same building I was in. But I want to thank the mechanical design department. They were very helpful, very encouraging, and especially Dr. Boersma, who couldn't be here tonight. So thank you.
Rosa Estrada.
Good evening. I want to thank my husband, my support, my brother, my sister.
You guys have no idea what of a drive you guys are to me. And I also want to thank a really close friend that I consider family, Rosalia Mora, the first help in the United States. I also like to thank my professor, Sue Martins. She was my first English professor, and God knows that was a challenge. And I also like to thank the Cesar Chavez Foundation for the scholarship that helps me through this. Thanks a lot, guys.
Nancy Griezak.
I would just like to thank my mom, my dad, and Anthony for being very supportive and encouraging over the last 2 years. Thank you.
David Krogman.
I guess I'd like to, someone already stole what I was going to say about my wife correcting my stuff, but I'll say thanks for her for nagging at me for 2 years to finally come to school and her support.
Douglas Sundalius.
I'd like to start by saying that it's been nearly 30 years since I set foot in a classroom. GRCC has been excellent as far as the staff and the faculty supporting me through this. Without that and the support of my family, I don't think I would have been able to do this. I'm actually looking forward to continuing on my education to a bachelor's degree. Thank you.
Tierney Persack.
I would like to thank GRCC. I would like to thank my mom and dad, as well as my boyfriend, for putting up with hours of homework and for many more hours of homework to come.
Risa Yost.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to my fiance, Anthony Lovell, for all the late nights of studying and encouraging me. And to my mom and dad for all those phone calls when I was calling you and saying, I'm going to fail this test. And saying, you got this, you got this. And to Chef Schultz for always being there. And the open door policy, and I hope that you're still there and I continue my education with Ferris State. Thank you.
Jesse Scott.
I mean, you guys didn't put there's going to be a speech in this in the letter. Let's be honest. This dinner is really for our parents. The inviting students was just a formality. One of the best indicators of success in college is the community that you have with the other students here. So I guess I'll point you out, Jonathan, since I invited you. It was amazing to me, not just the great instructor you are, and GRCC's faculty is amazing. They are what makes this college great. But what I noticed with especially the art classes is that the community was so strong that the students just strove to work harder and they helped each other out. I don't think if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing as well as I am right now. So thank you.
Tom Juros.
Thank you. Thank you. guess I've been a little bit blessed. I've been lucky to survive being hit by a drunk driver. And so when I first started, I went through the CAPS program first, and that was really monumental in my development. And Linda Spoolman has been very helpful to me. And she knows every time I had a problem, I'd always go and talk to her about things. And my first semester here at school, Mr. Crossman was just tremendously good and helpful in my development. And I'd like to thank him, and I hope he's having a really good time in Florida right now because he's retired. And I'd like to thank Mr. Bjornstad, who couldn't make it today, who I would have liked to had come, because he was very, very instrumental in my development and going through school. And Mr. Boersma and the rest of the staff, Mr. Gooch, and the rest of the faculty. I also have to thank Vern, the tutor in the lab. So I'm kind of like a lab rat in the engineering department. I lived here a lot, and just all the faculty, and I like to thank everybody, and all the other students were really good, and I think there's a fantastic future here because there's a lot of young people that are really very gifted, and I think everybody will do really well, and thank you very much, and I hope everybody does well.
John Perry.
I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my wife and my 3 daughters for their sacrifice and support during all this. Thank Mike Kiss, Bob Vanek, Don Steby, and Steve Schuler for their help during this time. Thanks.
Stacy Postmus.
Okay, I would like to thank God and my parents and my instructors. Mrs. Schultz is here, and Mrs. Daberstein, and all the other ones that weren't here, and all of the other students in the dental hygiene program. My parents for obviously their support and everything, but for helping me sometimes cram for those tests that I just couldn't remember those couple things for helping me study. And then obviously the other students for obviously helping each other. Someone else said something about the ups and downs and everything, and everybody's helps to calm each other down and to help cram for the tests and whatever else is needed. And then obviously my instructors, because they support us through everything and help us learn everything, but they also make us do things we don't want to do, obviously, but then by the time we're done with them, we learned a ton and we got through it. So thank you.
Kelly Thompson.
Good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to start by thanking my Heavenly Father, whom without him, I wouldn't even be here. He is all that I am. I'd also like to speak a name to Mr. Ender, Steve Mullins, and we can discuss that later. But anyway, I brought with me my mom and my niece, and they are just a very small part of my humongous family that showed me so much support during my 3.5 years here at GRCC. And without them, I don't think without their support, I wouldn't have obtained the level that I've obtained in my education. The occupational support program they were awesome. They were incredibly awesome. And I have a quick short story. I was kind of talking to one of my business instructors, and I was explaining to her, just kind of praising the business department for the work that they did and how they've helped me as I go out and go on interviews and do different things that we learn about in class. And she says, oh, well, you should send an email to the dean, and so I send him this email. Come to find out, he sends it to every single instructor in the business department. So as I'm walking through the hallways on the second floor, business instructors are stopping me. Are you Kelly? Yes, I'm Kelly. Thank you so much for that email. That email was awesome. But the business curriculum department, they were incredible. Thank you, everybody at GRCC. Thank you very much.
Brendan Lejeune. Jamie Deegan.
Hello. First of all, I want to thank my mother who came with me tonight for supporting me through these past 3 years. I couldn't have done it without her. I began my journey here 8 years after I finished high school, and I didn't know what to expect, but I hated high school, but I loved college. And if I could go all the way here, I would, but unfortunately, they only offer associate's degrees here. So while this door is closing, another one's opening. I have my orientation at Grand Valley tomorrow. And I came in as a business major because I thought that was a broad degree, but while in my time here, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned that I'm passionate about communications and politics, so I'm pursuing a political science degree. And I couldn't have done it without the help from the faculty and staff. I have so many influential professors that I couldn't even, we'd be here all night if I listed them all off. So I just want to thank everybody in general.
Lindsay Kirstra.
Hi, I would just like to thank my mom, my dad, and my boyfriend Spencer for just being there for me and loving me and helping me through it. Thank you.
William Hook.
I would like to thank, first and foremost, my wife, who's not only my biggest support, but my inspiration for everything I do. Without her, I wouldn't be standing anywhere near this building. I'd also like to thank the instructor I invited along, Brent Spittler, my business stats teacher, who made stats enjoyable, if you can believe that's possible. It is possible if you take his class. And all the business staff and all of the GRCC staff. The opportunities that CC has for a 35-year-old with a wife and kids and able to take those night classes and weekend classes and online. The opportunities are endless. Thank you very much.
Michael Scott.
All the wonderful, excuse me, instructors that I've had here, all have been inspirational. So it's kind of hard just to pick one, but I went with the assistant professor of criminal justice, Nikki Banks. She wasn't able to be here tonight because she's having a child, so I let her off the hook this one time. Also, my lovely mother, Anna Scott, and my grandmother, Mary Ball, for helping me with my 9-year-old son along the way, too. So we both thank you. And he'd be here, too, but he's playing baseball. So thank you.
Kayla Lord.
First, I would like to thank my parents who have always given me the push, but not pushed so hard that I felt pressured. So thank you for always being there for me and helping me when I was emotional and stressed out. I also like to thank Mr. Brent Spittler, who I'm kicking myself right now for not inviting myself, but I'm glad somebody did. He, for me, just epitomizes a teacher who is so helpful and so out there to help you. And I just love that about him. I can come to him, ask him questions, and he'll tell me the real answer, what I need to know, and I've learned a lot from him. So thank you, and thank you to my parents.
Annie Gyung Min Kim.
Actually, this is actually a big first for me to get a recognition for academics, which is kind of weird. My parents live in Korea, and I was telling them that I was going to this dinner tonight, and they're like, "You're getting what? For what?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you know, I did pretty well studying," but it's true. I didn't do this alone, and one of the things that I do want to say is if I could, I wouldn't. I know a lot of people had said that tonight, but it's very true. And I would like to thank Dr. Kate Byerwalter. I've had the privilege of working with her through the honors college, but also to just a couple classes that I've had with her. And she's definitely helped me shape what I want to do in the future, and kind of her teaching styles and things has made me want to become a teacher like her. So thank you for everything that you've done. And you know, if I could have invited all the professors who made a difference, this room would have probably been filled with professors. But thank you, and I'd also like to thank my boyfriend who's not looking at me. Hello. Thank you for putting up with me. And but it's true, it's not the end, it's the beginning. And thank you for the journey, and you guys are all continuing it with me, so thanks for that.
Michael Shaw.
I'd like to thank my wife, Angela, and my 3 daughters, Katie, Ginger, and Megan, all the support and everything that you've had to give up, and all the staff, Chef, everybody who couldn't be here tonight. We couldn't have done it without you. Thanks.
At this time, I would like to ask all the Delta Pi Alpha recipients to please stand. This completes the list of Delta Pi Alpha honor recipients attending this evening for the Grand Rapids Community College academic year 2009-2010. Please join me in congratulating you and them on their inductions into the Delta Pi Alpha Honor Society at Grand Rapids Community College. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Now I would like to introduce Patty Tripkowski, who is our Associate Provost and Dean of Interdisciplinary Studies and Instructional Support.
Good evening, and congratulations to all of our new Delta Pi Alpha inductees. What an accomplishment. We have 6 of the 13 students who have achieved a perfect 4.0 grade point average with us this evening. This is truly an outstanding academic achievement. We will present these students with a plaque recognizing this 4.0 accomplishment at Grand Rapids Community College. As your name is read, please come forward. Robert Bratty. Rosa Estrada. Nancy Grizak. Audra Kugel. Nicole Snyder. And Melanie Thorwall. At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Hilda Haley, our provost.
What a magnificent night, isn't it? As I was listening to the remarks of the students, I couldn't help but feel that there was like a piece of me in many of them. Rosa, I also had to learn the language. And, you know, I've been through so many of these things that it was just great. So at this point, I am the only thing standing between you and going home. But I get to hand in the cup. This gold cup symbolizes the Arthur Andrews Award for Excellence in Scholarship and honors for each new Delta Pi Alpha member. Permanent possession is given to the new Delta Pi Alpha member who has earned the highest grade point average. The Arthur Andrews Cup also honors the memory of Arthur Andrews, who served Grand Rapids Junior College as its president for 35 crucial years. Arthur Andrews was a man dedicated to the preservation, growth, and academic excellence of Grand Rapids Junior College. Then, in its early formative years, and not receiving any state or federal funds to help pay its costs, much like now, the college was several times yanked back from the brink of extinction by Dr. Andrews' persuasive arguments and advocacy before the Grand Rapids Public Schools Board. Arthur Andrews valued the college and its academic integrity. He often made the point that we must give our students an education here as good as or better than they would receive at the university. The records of Grand Rapids Junior College and community college students who have gone on to further study certainly show that his colleagues and successors still espouse this lofty goal. So this evening, we honor the memory of one of our outstanding leaders and the achievements of the outstanding students assembled here tonight. We now bestow a share of this award upon each of you, the new Delta Pi Alpha members. The present graduating class, whose top students we honor, include 13 who have earned perfect 4.0 cumulative grade point average. Since, as the slogan says, you can't do better than all A's, we actually have to find a way of distinguishing the student who will be given permanent possession of this gold cup from his or her equally accomplished peers. We do this by choosing the student from among the 13 who has earned, in addition to a perfect 4.0 average, the greatest number of honor grade points, signifying the most credits earned. It gives me great pleasure now to announce the recipient of the 2010 Arthur Andrews Cup, Nancy Grisak. She was invited to say some words, but she said no. I just have to say, though, that the last hurdle that she just went through is that coming here, she had an auto accident. Everything is fine.
Someone
Thank God.
rear-ended me.
Yeah, so.
Please hold this up for an hour. I didn't know if I was going to make it. But I'm here, and I'm so grateful. So this is a surprise.
and I'm shocked. So I'm just very grateful and very honored. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
It's time for the next step, and that next step is commencement. That's going to be held on April 30th, and I would like to invite all of you to participate in that. Put that on your calendar. Not all our students process, but one of the opportunities that you have is to wear your medallion as part of your academic regalia at our commencement ceremony. So I invite you, and I hope to see all of you there. Well, certainly tonight, it was time for a story, wasn't it? And there's a lot of power in story. One of the things that you've graced us with this evening is the experience that you've had here and the people that have made it all possible. That includes your family, our faculty and staff, your friends. Thank you so much for coming, and congratulations. Good night.